Welcome and good morning. This is Cactus Cup 2026. We're live from Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center here in Phoenix, Arizona. This tournament hosted by Arizona Roller Derby. My name is Scar Trek.
And I am Cakes. We're really excited to have you here and hydrated and caffeinated. You are about to watch the very first game of this contest, this tournament, if you will. Right now, game one, we're having the 15th ranked in the WFTDA nuclear-free roller derby, seeded number 4 against SoCal roller derby, the Kraken, seeded number 5 and ranked 16th in the world. So the winner of this game will play in the game 2 of coming up next. Anyway, let me just give it to Scar Trek real quick, and we'll give you some roster reads.
Yeah, let's run through nuclear-free roller derby wearing blue this morning from Alberta, Canada. Joe Means Joe, Dank the Tank, Cakes, Red Streaks, Blade, Sriracha, Toast and Jam, Smash and Dash, Bad Kitty, Mac Daddy, Rennie, Bam, Twitch, and Killer Ella. And they're coached today by Charity Beasley, Vince, and Sherry Sopsack.
That whistle means we are good to go, but I want to let you know a little bit more about SoCal Derby, the Kraken. We have Cinco de Mayhem, number 8008, Ham Wheezy, number 2, Trash Can Jones, 030, Shoddy, number 7, Jelly Bean, 1011, Rogue Rammer, number 1031, Halloween, number 267, Winca Brona. We have number 33, Vermilion Valkyr. We have number 43, Jax, 520, Evita, number 707, Little Pit Bull. Number 7, Slamerai. Number 76, Foxy. Number 77, Little Kitty Split. They are coached by Dr. B, Yodalehihu, and Max. But that was a very quick rundown. Scar, what happened in that first jam?
All right, jam number 1 in the books. Nuclear Free has picked up 4 points. Quickly jammer call and able to get the jam called off before SoCal made it back around to the pack. So first blood to Alberta this morning, lining up for jam number 2.
They're lining up on the Now Owl Jam line.
And that was Joe Means Joe, the first jammer fielded by Nuclear. This time out with the star Mac Daddy up against Slamerai for SoCal.
If you're just joining us, you're seeing SoCal and the nice bright white jerseys. These beautiful turquoise jerseys are being honed by the Kraken.
Second lead jammer call for Nuclear Free Roller Derby as a star pass in progress for SoCal.
Beautiful work here by both squads, still filling out those sea legs, especially for the Kraken.
And a nice recycle. Took SoCal's pivot turn jammer all the way to the back as Mac Daddy threw for points. Nuclear Free up to 4 points on the jam and coming around for a second scoring trip as the pivot turn jammer for SoCal headed to the penalty box. This is a power jam now for Alberta. Oh, and a track cut sending Mac Daddy to the penalty box. This will be a quick switch out as Jax had just sat down.
A great waterfall job here overall with the defensive work of Nuclear Free Roller Derby, really holding back SoCal. But again, very early in the game, so we'll see how they turn this around.
Nice rollback on the defense there by Alberta. No pack was called, so they had to close the pack back up. As Jax is in and pushing on the defense at the top of the pack. 1 to beat, coming around corner 1. Now held up by a 2-wall at the top of the pack. Nuclear Free Roller Derby really showing their defense this morning.
They are. They're doing a great job taking that front wall consistently. Again, just jam number 2, but showcasing where their head's at and where their gameplay is going to go forward. Pack
really split up as we're coming into corner 2. Still pushing SoCal's pivot turn jammer Jax, just really having a hard time in the sad place right now at the top of the pack in corner 2.
Yeah, corner 2 getting all of the love here. Again, the front wall just holding back and doing so much damage to the clock for SoCal. SoCal just shut out completely.
What a grind out there, Cakes.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Love to see that defense on display. That was an 8-point pickup for Nuclear Free Roller Derby. The NF Bombs wearing blue today. SoCal, still a shutout for them, but we're lining up for jam number 3. That was a long power jam.
Went the full 2 minutes there, Scar.
It sure did.
I want to let you know a little bit more about our officials. We have Toxic Narcotic, Misbehavin', McWinkle, Tombo number 5, Terabyte, Sweet and Sour Candy, Camilla Sunrise, Adam Smasher, and Toad.
So a quick bump out of bounds on SoCal's jammer. Reset, but not quite far enough, says the OPR. That's a track cut to SoCal's Halloween. Smash and Dash has the opportunity to pick up lead jammer here and benefit from another power jam, the second of the game for Alberta.
Yeah, the Kraken are starting to wake up a little bit here, but it's hard. This is a new venue for this tournament. This is post-COVID I'm talking about here. And just had to find that penalty box for a moment there. And now we have a power jam situation for Nuclear.
Nice move around the outside. Good offensive help from the teammates there in the pack to score another 4 points on the power jam, up to 8 points now for Nuclear Free Roller Derby, opening up a gap early in this game. Big juke on the outside line, and SoCal's jammer sneaking through the inside out of the penalty box. Halloween out and eligible to score, so that's going to force the call off. See if any additional points go up. It looks like 2 more going up, so a 10-point pickup for Nuclear.
What a wonderful job there by Ween, coming on the inside lane and picking up a nice apex hop.
Rocketed out of the box.
Want to let you know a little bit more about our officials. Fibonacci, Genetic, Jams Joyce, Outrageous, Category, Johnny Dynamic, Sam Antics. And if you're on the Twitch feed, let us know what you're thinking. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, I'm Cakes. I'm joined with Scar Trek, and we are so excited to be here.
Yeah.
Let us know how you're feeling, where you're watching from.
This is Good Morning Derby, and out for jam number 4, it's Joe Means Joe with the star for Nuclear Free, taking on Rogue Rammer for SoCal. Another lead jammer call for Nuclear Free Roller Derby this morning. They are dominant on that stat so far.
100% status as far, well, there was a loss of lead. However, they're dominating that lead position, as you mentioned there, Scar.
Joe Means Joe just stepped right in front of the defense and called off the jam there. Quick 4-0 pickup for the NF Bombs coming out of Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. That was a long trip and a very intense climate change for them.
Oh my God. Super dry. If you're not used to the weather here, it is. We're going to hit, I believe, 100 degrees at some point, and that's really early for this time frame of year. So we're going to hit a heat wave, and actually I think it's because of roller derby, so you're welcome.
So lined up for jam number 5 on the Night Owl jam line. That is Mac Daddy with the star for Nuclear, taking on Little Kitty Split for SoCal. And another lead call for the NF Bombs, but Little Kitty Split out not too far behind, going to put some pressure on. SoCal loses 2 blockers to the penalty box in this jam. Little pack advantage. And NF Bombs, quick 4 points, call off the jam, 30-0.
What a beautiful little hop on the inside lane there.
It's no big deal.
No bigs,
It's easy.
you know?
Yeah.
We train for this, so great job overall by both squads. It looks like we have some people in the chat here. Thank you so much for joining us, and I love that Chai is saying, I just want both teams to have fun. Rockin' Sox is saying, let's go Kraken, and there's a lot of Bomb fans. We see you. We see you. Who do we have to thank there, Scar?
Well, I mentioned the Night Owl jam line. Come for the pizza, stay for the fun. Night Owl Pizza and Drinks kick back on our spacious patio while the weather's prime. Open daily 11 and roll until midnight, and then 1 a.m. on weekends. But we're underway. Jam number 6. Smash and Dash has lead for Nuclear Free Roller Derby. Cinco de Mayhem stuck in the pack on the initial trip right now.
If you're just joining us here, what you're seeing is a dominant start here by Nuclear. They have been playing the lead position quite consistently.
Dominantly,
So,
you might say.
I was going to say dominantly. I was like, use another word. We have so many. Jam 6 is underway, and Smash and Dash does take that lead jammer position again.
Having some trouble on the scoring trip, though, as a star pass gets SoCal's pivot out of the pack. And that's a call-off. Had already picked up those points, so 4 more go up for Alberta. SoCal, still with that goose egg, Cakes.
Give it time.
Give it time, yeah.
I do like that they are switching up their strategy here. They are starting to play a little bit more of the star pass role, and they are trying to figure out what the best point of action is against this amazing defensive wall by Nuclear. They are just so good at putting things together and so quickly on the track. What if you can't see on your television or in the arena, we are skating on like a polished basketball floor.
Yeah,
so,
wood floor.
So that's a factor in the gameplay today.
Yeah, I heard from some skaters that it's a bit slick.
A little bit.
Oh, SoCal with the first lead jammer call of the game. That is Slamurai racing around. Nuclear Free Roller Derby gets Joe Means Joe out of the pack as well. Nice defensive clear at the back of the pack. Slamurai looks for the outside line. And we're talking about points right now. Looks like it's going to be 2 points. No, 1 point for SoCal. Okay, they broke that goose egg, Cakes.
I told you just had to wait.
Yeah, just give us some time.
It is the first game of, oh my gosh, patience. I get it, why they say it's a virtue. I don't have that virtue just yet, but I'm excited that you're here with me to get me through this.
Same. And unlocking that jam start, figuring out the other team and what you can do to beat them off the line is such an important part of adjusting to the other team that you're playing. So underway with jam number 8. Rogue Rammer, they're continuing the trend here. SoCal with another lead jammer call, figuring out these jam starts. And that is Mac Daddy with the start for Nuclear, coming in to put some pressure on. Rogue Rammer gets sat down on the apex there. Has to call the jam from the floor. 3 points is the pickup. So SoCal up to 4 now. Nuclear free roller derby at 34, and we've got 20 minutes, 30 seconds left in period 1.
What a fantastic block that was by Twitch, and I have to give a shout out to the Twitch. If you're watching us, letting us know what you're thinking. I'm seeing so much in there. Joe means go. Thank you, Chai, for that beautiful wall, and way to go, Joe, with 88 bootstrap. I love this. Thank you for joining us from Denver, Colorado, and a whole bunch of other places here. Yes, Chaos, the floors are a little slick. So I'm going to talk more about some fun things as we get started here. Jam number 9, what's happening there, Scar?
Number 9, Smash and Dash has picked up lead jammer status. Holly Ween got recycled there at the back of the pack. Still working on the initial trip right now. Smash and Dash in for points. Holly Ween makes it out of the pack on the initial. And nice defense gelling this morning from SoCal, holding back the Nuclear free roller derby jammer there. It's going to be a 3-point pickup.
I have a comment here in the Twitch. Panic says, Cakes, you better be cheering for Cakes on the track. We discussed this. I've shortened my name 3 times since 2007. So as a Cakes, I will honor the other Cakes with a nod, but I have to be impartial and allow the players to play their own game.
I suggested that it was a Cakes from another bakes.
I love that, and I'm going to steal that tagline on a T-shirt at some point.
So like a sister in goodness, really.
Oh my gosh.
Tasty goodness.
Pastry goodness. Yeah. Good morning, Neverland. Thank you. Obalas has a point, and Johnny Pepper has joined the chat.
Oh,
hello.
JP. Hey, JP.
Where are you?
Why aren't you here?
I like this comment here from Michigan Sports. Let's hope for no blowouts this tournament. Current criteria to get on the Derby data, top 30 Arizona blowouts will be 1, a minimum of 150 points between 2 teams, and 2, one team has at least 92.9% of the points. I love stats. My nerd.
Well, speaking of predictions, the WFTDA predictor called this as a 4-point game. So it's not looking that way at the moment, but you never know.
You never know.
So the WFTDA predictor said 152 to 148. And of course, these 2 teams have never matched up before. So this is a first time we're seeing these 2 Titans clash, Titans of the West region. And of course, all of the teams here this weekend are kind of on the bubble, you might say, of the Western region playoffs. So there's a lot on the line here. We're approaching the end of the rankings season, the rankings cutoff for playoffs.
Right.
Just in a couple of weeks. So a lot on the line for these teams. If they can get big wins and maybe even some upsets this weekend, they might find a bid to playoffs in their future.
And they might be heading to one of our amazing stations. And know that you are a THA of what tournament?
Michigan this year. Yeah.
I heard that's going to be a fire.
It's going to be good.
Fire for sure.
We're excited about the postseason. Big time this year. It's going to be fun. It feels like we did a postseason 2 years ago. It feels like this postseason has a little bit more like energy around it, a little bit more. Yeah, I think we're looking forward to some good derby. I'm excited to watch Euro champs as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make sure you bookmark everything we just discussed because there's so much for you to look at. That whistle means that the official timeout has come to a close. That stopped the clock at 19 minutes and 34 seconds, so we have plenty of time to give you some more roller derby action. Right now we're heading into jam number 10. Who's on that Night Owl jam line there, Scar?
We've got the top scorer, Joe Means Joe, for Nuclear free roller derby, taking on Slamurai, and Joe Means Joe grabs lead jammer status. Slamurai still stuck at the back of the defensive wall. Wow. Star comes off. Star pass in progress, and the pivot's pushing at the top wall. 2 defenders up there to beat. That's Rennie holding it down at the top along with Toast and Jam doing some good work on defense there. Ham Wheezy makes it out with the star pass for SoCal. And Alberta loses a blocker to the penalty box. along with the jammer, the power jam now for SoCal. So this is going to go the full 2 minutes because Joe Means Joe did have lead jammer when the penalty was assessed. So seeing some offensive moves here from SoCal in the power jam. Hamweezy looking for the inside line, goes for the outside. Now just with Rennie to beat at the top of the pack.
And I love the work here by SoCal. They're starting to slow down a little bit, feeling the momentum shift just for this jam. Wheezy doing a great job taking her time, making sure that her skates are staying in bounds, and just picking up the points that are necessary. Just really playing it smart.
Patient style.
Patience.
Yeah, patience, like waiting for those points, you know. Okay, so both jammers in and scoring right now. Joe Means Joe has picked up 4, coming around for a second scoring trip as Hamweezy on the 4th trip through the pack right now.
If it ain't easy, it's not for Wheezy. These 2 blockers here in the back wall doing such good work, tractor trailing each other for Nuclear.
Serious defense from the Alberta squad. Hamweezy, I think I said the 4th trip before, on the 3rd trip right now. So maybe has picked up some points as this has progressed around the track, but we'll see what else. Oh, it looks like 2 more points getting added to SoCal's score there. So that was a huge jam for them, more than doubling their score on the board up to this point in the game. Big jam for Nuclear as well, 12 points to 10. So a 2-point pickup on the overall score, 49-14 right now with a little over 17 minutes left to go in period 1.
I'm going to go ahead and take a look at penalties here in just a moment here, but I do want to give a shout out here to Chai asking what the OR about. I think it has something to do with the time clock. I'm just going to give them that benefit. And Stone Cold Shorty Cakes here, one of our favorite announcers. Thank you. I baked so well today. I appreciate you so much for that. That's so sweet. But I'll let you get back to the action track side there, Scar, and I'm going to look up penalties.
Yeah, we got another lead jammer call for SoCal. That's Rogue Rammer with the star picking up lead, and Mac Daddy out of the pack for Alberta as well. Both jammers coming in hot, but it's a quick jump over the inside line. A little fist in the air. Rogue Rammer pretty happy about that. Clean 4-0 jam for SoCal.
Rogue Rammer, love the pumped up, and that's like the hype you need to see on SoCal's side.
Absolutely, they need that energy.
The penalties aren't doing too bad here. We have for SoCal their total of 7 penalties for them as a team, and 5 total for Nuclear. So they haven't gone off as the bomb yet with those penalties. They're playing very smart. I like that. SoCal just spreading it all out for everybody to have a chance to get those penalties.
Good, getting that jammer line kind of used to the defense and figuring out how to work through these packs. So Smash and Dash has the star for Nuclear up against Cinco de Mayhem for SoCal. Ooh. No pack is called, and there's a bit of a pileup at the top. That's going to be a lead jammer call for Smash and Dash.
Yeah, that pack was starting to move a little quickly, but they are congealing now at the pivot line and going backwards back to the original straightaway. So not a lot of movement for this pack, and it's kind of been that way so far this game.
There is a stash in progress and now a pass in progress for SoCal as Smash and Dash makes it through the pack for 4 points for Alberta, and it looks like the star pass was not legal. So pivot headed back to the pack. Let's try again.
Redo.
And in the meantime, 4 more points for Smash and Dash. It can be so distracting on defense when there's something like that going on. It's difficult to hold down the formations.
Yeah, it turns into a power jam situation as the jammer does take a seat in the Lookout Publications penalty box. Say that 3 times fast, I dare you, at like 10 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so power jam situation now for Nuclear.
Yeah, and Smash and Dash already with 8 points on the jam, coming through for another scoring trip. Make it 12 now as the power jam gets underway. Is ended now, I should say. Back in the pack is our star in hand jammer, Cinco de Mayhem for SoCal, working on defense at the top of the pack. Nuclear Free just has such a tight defensive style. It's a real surround the jammer and allow no movement. Right at the end there, Smash and Dash comes through one more time. 16-0 jam. Huge pickup for Nuclear Free.
I think they're starting to run away with it at this point. But you know what? Maybe SoCal just needs a little bit more love, which we do have in the chat. So Boomer says, tell SoCal I love them. So SoCal, Boomer loves you.
Oh,
and and those on the chat, if you don't know, we are on a hybrid call. That means the stream can hear us, but so can the people, all of you in the crowd. So we can't tell too many secrets, but we can definitely give shout outs. We are so happy you're all here. The whole gang is here.
Yeah, it was a little sad to see Maliboomer a scratch this morning.
I was too. Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
But glad to see there's some love in the chat.
Absolutely.
So right now, just to recap, Nuclear Free really in control of lead jammer calls. SoCal has worked their way into the lead jammer calls a little bit over the course of the game. There have been, I think, about 3 power jams so far. We're not doing official stats this morning, but 3 to 4 maybe. Does that feel about right to you?
Sounds about right. Yeah. And they had 2 in a row, which was really nice to see, and they kind of trickled in a couple more. I think it's the penalty trouble and being able to hold onto that star and not get those jammer penalties that's really why you're seeing such a large score gap at this point.
A big-time trend I'm noticing, though, with Nuclear so much in control of lead jammer, SoCal has been very effective with the star passes and has even been able to convert a couple of times on a star pass and put points up. So kind of big trends, SoCal needing to figure out their jam starts against this Alberta defense and maybe contain Joe Means Joe, who is out with the star right now, looking for that lead jammer call and gets it. NF Bombs in control of this jam. Number 13, lucky 13. Little Kitty Split out for SoCal, pushing at the top of the pack, and wow, the pack really spread out. No pack is finally called, and Little Kitty Split makes it out as well, eligible to score.
It was their fault for leaving so much catnip on the track.
No, that's okay. Catnip all over the place, yeah. Well, that's for tomorrow on Cat-A-Day, maybe. So the jam gets called 4-0, 670, no, 5-0. Okay, one little extra point added there at the end for, nope, lies. Back to 69. Nice. So 4-0 on the jam. 69-18 is your score right now. 13 minutes left to go in period 1.
Yeah, you said 13 minutes to go. So we're in the second quarter here as we head in. I want to give a shout out to all of our volunteers, sponsors, everybody that's shown us some love here. And there's a lot of ways to support the sport of roller derby. So if you want to give back, join our volunteer crew and be part of the action.
SoCal with another lead jammer call. That's Holly Ween in control of this jam. And only one defender out there for Alberta. Holly Ween's able to dance around, get the jam called off with that pack advantage maintained for the next jam. 4 points picked up by SoCal.
Looking strong, NFRD. Thank you so much, Vic Vega, baby. You are so right. Yeah, Holly Ween says rocks and socks. And Chola Rolla, everybody in the club getting penalties. You know, it would not be a good first morning if not everybody had a penalty. So, yes, you're absolutely right.
You got to cycle through there.
You got it. Yeah. You get a penalty, you get a penalty. And it's like a badge of honor at this point.
Yep.
So what's happening now on jam number 15 there,
we
Star?
got Smash and Dash with the star for Nuclear Free. NF Bombs, but it's Slammerai for SoCal. Picked up lead jammer status. They're working their way in there with the lead jammer statuses. So I think we're slowly going to see this score.
Would you say they're working their way downtown, driving fast?
Exactly.
Okay, yep. Perfect.
Exactly that. So 4 points picked up. There have been so many 4-0 jams. I think I mentioned before, we don't have official stats going on this morning, but I think the stat sheet would be full of 4-0s. Because SoCal has been really effective with those star passes and getting the pressure on to the other team to call off the jam before the pivot hits the pack. So nice job by SoCal and a lot of smart jam in there this morning, holding the other team scoreless on many of these jams.
I was just taking a look at the scores for all of the jammers, taking a look at how they're doing here. I think right now, so far, the most effective jammer for SoCal has been, well, actually, let me do some more calculations because I'm looking at a new screen.
Mathing.
But it seems like there's multiple penalties for the jammers within one jam.
Right.
So that's what's kind of like making it a little bit more tricky for SoCal on that jammer penalty side.
That in addition to the lead jammer ratio that we have had so far in this game, I think that's otherwise the teams do look kind of well matched in other ways. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're definitely fighting each other very physically. They're doing a great job holding their own per squad, and I do like that they do rotate in such a fashion that the front wall is challenged quite a bit, but Nuclear has been steadfast in keeping that wall together, that front
like glue.
like glue, and they just dominate that front wall. So Nuclear, as we said, was ranked 15th overall in the WFTDA.
Yeah, this was 15 and 16 in the February rankings, and I think now in the March rankings, 14 and 15. So they've both moved up a spot, and they're just right beside each other in game point average as well. So we're expecting a close game here. And in fact, when I looked at flat track stats, I saw that SoCal was predicted to win. So it's, of course, taking a longer game history into account and that kind of thing. But
well, then it has to beg the question, what's challenging the score aside from the jammer penalties? What's making it change up a little bit? Right now we're in a new facility for this tournament, and we have a very slick floor. And I think SoCal's floors, I think they do either sport court or concrete. I could be wrong. You can correct me on chat. Please let us know if you have any insights. We'd love to learn more about the insights. But overall, we're going to go into the half eventually, and you might see a completely different strategy for SoCal. And it's because SoCal, you cannot count them out at all.
Definitely not.
Plus the Kraken, you never want to see them sleep. Never.
Right. Gets scary when they wake up. We've had a lot of Power Jams, so I want to let you know that our Power Jams this weekend, sponsored by Brick Road Coffee, built to be a welcoming space where everyone can show up exactly as they are and feel like they belong. From drag brunches and community meetups to chill co-working and comfy creative space, Brick Road is a home base for connection, kindness, and community, serving great coffee while building community brick by brick. So thank you, Brickyard Coffee, for sponsoring our Power Jams and serving us some good coffee.
We absolutely need it. Thank you so much. And after all these teams play, we will see an MVP awarded in-house for the blocker, the jammer, as well as overall per team. So it's a really fun job that announcers have. So not only do we have to pay attention, read stats, read the chat, and also figure out what's going on screen and try to,
I'm dying to know if that was sincere.
You'll never know. I got to keep you guessing.
Yeah, you got a poker face about whether...
Thank you. I've always wanted to learn how to gamble. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're lining up for jam number 16. Joe means Joe, but no, it's Rogue Rammer with lead jammer status, SoCal.
I love Rammer's smile as she's coming through the pack. That was so delightful and so quick right off the bat.
Yeah, they did something there. They had a plan, but Nuclear Free had the plan to get that star out of the pack, passed it, and quick call off. What did we get? We're talking about points, I think.
Wow, when that fuse is lit from Nuclear.
Looks like it's going to be 3 points for SoCal.
Very smart on SoCal's side to shut it down. So yeah, 3 points as you mentioned there, Scar. The score now sitting at 29-69. Nice.
It's still nice.
Still very nice. 40 points. So 40 points can happen in 10 minutes. You never know.
Absolutely. 40 points is 2 Power Jams, right?
Yeah.
So
give or take, mathematically speaking. What's happening there in Jam 17 there, Scar?
We got Mac Daddy pushing at the top of the pack. Big hit. Who was that with the takeout? I want to call out that blocker. Oh, and it's a track cut. So this is now a Power Jam opportunity for SoCal. Oh, but a star pass means we're going to go the full 2 minutes. We got about a minute and a half left of the Power Jam.
And I like that. I like that strategy. Even though maybe right off the bat there was a moment for them to pick up that lead jammer position, I do like that they're sticking to their game plan anyway, because this is starting to work out in their favor. Great block there you just saw on the outside lane.
Same blocker with the takeout. I'm looking for the number. It's 808.
It's Wheezy. I love
Good
it.
stuff out there. Love to see it. And the Power Jam continues. Already 4 points coming in for the 4 more. Nice offense out there by SoCal. Valkyr bump to the inside, has to restart this pass. Ooh, easy trip through though. Finds a line, picking up 4 more points. That's going to be 8 on the Power Jam as Mac Daddy is back from the box and engaging with 1 more blocker at the top of the pack. Completes that. I think that's the initial trip. Yep.
Yeah, that pack settling down a little bit there in turn 4, and surprisingly we see SoCal taking that front wall now there, Scar.
Yeah, just about 30 seconds left to go in the jam. Nuclear has picked up 4 points now. And Valkyr through the pack, 12 points so far on the jam for this pivot turn jammer. SoCal not just passing the star, but definitely converting on those star passes in this game so far. Both jammers in the pack right now.
Both teams at full strength.
And that's a star pass in progress for Nuclear Free. As the jam times out, we'll see more points going up for SoCal, 15 total on the jam, and 4 points for Nuclear.
That brings us to 8 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this first half.
You know, Nuclear jammer went to the penalty box for 30 seconds of that 2-minute jam, but only 4 points otherwise is pretty impressive defense out of SoCal on a 2-minute jam. So I just have to call out that defense. The Kraken is awakening.
The Kraken is awakening. All of the limbs are picking up all the block to bus moments. This is happening. It's happening, Scar.
It's happening. So 8 minutes left in the first period. We got Smash and Dash up against Cinco de Mayhem. And this pack is stalled out. The e-brake is on this morning.
Lots of love to all of our officials from Chaos in our chat. And I really love the insight that I'm getting from Murder Maid. SoCal is using a different mix of jammers. They do practice on both concrete and rink, but basketball gyms are a whole different beast. I knew it, Murder Maid. So thank you for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, this kind of slick wood floor. Can you even feel kind of bouncy at times?
Yeah. Or we see those apex hops and those jumps. They're like look so effortless as they glide over.
Smash and Dash has picked up lead coming around on the scoring trip right now as Cinco de Mayhem got bumped to the inside line and a no earned pass gets SoCal out of the pack. Smash and Dash through for points, getting ready to call off the jam. Does it just in time. Under 7 minutes left to go in period one, and that was a 4-0 jam in favor of Nuclear Free Roller Derby out of Alberta, Canada. 77-44 right now. What a good game.
Oh, I love this. And like we said, you know, it's the first game of the entire tournament. Give them time to warm up. Nuclear came with a huge, flawless game plan. They've executed it completely flawlessly. SoCal took a little bit more time to warm up. However, they are really showcasing now some skill sets and strategy sets that we make adjustments for such a strong defense in Nuclear. So we're going to get a team time out here called from Nuclear that'll stop the clock at 6 minutes and 27 seconds just to give you enough time to talk about what roller derby funsies is in the chat and maybe get a drink. What do you think?
I like it. Maybe a penalty update because that thing's filling up. Oh no, that's the scoring, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just clicking around, just having all sorts of fun on the
I was like, wow, busy
computers.
No, okay, so we do have some penalties stacking though. So right now Nuclear has 14 team penalties, no one with more than 2. And SoCal has, is that 13 total? And then
yes,
we've
13
got
total.
One player, number 43, Jax, is in some trouble with 4 penalties so far in the game. Everybody else has 2 or fewer.
Thank you, our villain, for being subscribed to Tier 1. I know that Arizona Roller Derby appreciates that. Again, some more fun information on our chat. The AZRD skaters are proudly sponsored by 187 Killer Pads, worn by the most pros in all the world. So if you skate, you know why. So check them out at 187killerpads.com. And I love this comment here by Panic002. The NF Bombs also have multiple Saskatchewan skaters and a BC skater. So thank you so much for letting us know that information. That's really huge. And I love to see how this sport grows, especially from our beautiful neighbors up north. What's happening now as we go into Gem 19 there, Scar?
Ooh, we got Joe Means Joe around the outside line, but Slamurai for SoCal has picked up lead jammer status. They're within just about 10 or 12 feet of each other, coming around to hit the back of the pack. A little bit of a micro pack out there, though, because a couple of players in the box for Alberta, one in the box for SoCal. Quick call off. Looks like just 3 points going up for Nuclear Free Roller Derby, the NF Bombs. And 3 points picked up for SoCal as well, 80-47 right now.
Someone called 911 and got Killer Ella on the outside lane, forced that call off. That was insane. I would never survive that. A shout out from Boomer. You got this, SoCal. We are catching up. You're doing great, SoCal, for that.
Chipping away.
A lot of love for Kier. So AM Radio, Bruna, and all the derbs.
Ooh, nice hop up the inside line. For SoCal's jammer, makes it out with lead, but in the lead right now, Mac Daddy. So that's going to force this call off 0-0 on jam number 20.
Ooh, I really like what SoCal did there. They have the lead, right? But we're going to call it off and freeze one skater in that Lookout Publications penalty box. Smart choice.
Ooh, Lookout Publications. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Lookout delivers fearless journalism and community events with the unified purpose to improve and expand LGBTQ plus representation on the local news stage while strengthening and engaging LGBTQ plus communities and their allies in the queer experience. Thank you for sponsoring the penalty box.
Yes, thanks for having us. And also, I do have a comment here. Cholarula asks, oh, dang, is that a totally different venue or same one with a different spot in it? This is a different venue from the last few tournaments. We are in Ability 360. It's a wonderful venue, but we do have like basketball flooring. So right now we're headed into Jam 21, and where Halloween has taken that lead jammer position.
Yeah, another lead jammer call for SoCal as they fight their way back into this thing. Halloween jumping over the inside line. It's landing flat. And a long recycle. Smash and dash seated in the penalty box. So this is a power jam for SoCal right now. Halloween finds a way through. And that's 4 points to start us out, Cakes.
I'm really excited about this jam. I'm getting goosebumps. It makes me excited.
Power jams give you goosebumps?
They do. And I really like to see this momentum here shifting to SoCal on the defensive end because that has been a very difficult position for them. However, the back is just chilling out in the straightaway. So that's just showing you how much defense is on the mind of both squads here. Hasn't even done a full rotation for this pack there, Scar.
Halloween looking really strong, really aggressive out there, fighting through the defense for the third scoring trip and just one to beat at the top and makes it around. So that's a 12-point power jam pickup for SoCal as Smash and Dash makes it out on a star stash for Nuclear Free Roller Derby. Halloween does have lead here, so.
Yeah, this is Halloween. Everybody make a scene.
Wow. The NF Bombs defense really spread apart there. Couldn't get a handle on Halloween coming through on that last scoring trip. So a huge jam for SoCal, 16-0, closing the gap. This is now a 17-point game? Yes.
Anything could happen. And do not look at me with the maths.
I'll never do that again. I'm so sorry.
This is our first call together, and I'm just so happy to be here with you.
No, same.
You're amazing.
Same. Okay, but now I know about the math thing.
But the maths, please.
Okay,
You're putting me on the spot, and I don't like it.
Underway with jam number 22, Little Kitty Split, taking on Joe Means Joe. Joe Means Joe pushing at the top of the pack, grabs lead jammer status for Alberta. Wow, Little Kitty Split with a big push to make it out on the initial trip. Great recycling at the top of the pack from Alberta. Incredible defense from them. A knock to the outside is going to slow SoCal down. No back is called, and Joe Means Joe has to be released from the front of the pack. 4 points for Nuclear Free Roller Derby.
Jack's now back in play for SoCal. Jack's sitting at 5 full penalties, and we're not even done with the first half.
Okay, SoCal Jammer, Little Kitty Split makes it out of the pack as Joe Mean Joe is in and through for the second scoring trip for Alberta, 8-0 on the jam, and under 2 minutes left to go in the first period.
I really like the effort there by Jax coming in with the quickness, giving an option for SoCal. SoCal did hold their own. However, Nuclear did run away with it a little bit on that 8 point. They probably heard us talking about the math, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna just mess with that a little bit further. I get it.
I've just really loved seeing SoCal fight their way back into this game.
Yes.
And it makes me excited for the second half because they're going to get to talk about it at halftime, figure out their plan. But right now, Mac Daddy has the star up against Slamurai in jam number 23. Mac Daddy pushing at the top of the pack. SoCal trying to contain, but around the outside, lead jammer goes to Alberta.
SoCal doing a better job here of taking that front wall away from Nuclear, and I think that's helping their shift and mindset. Mm-hmm. But we're seeing a lot of tumbles happening in turn 1, so a little bit more skater violence as we head into that turn. But it's a track cut penalty, and so a power jam situation in favor of SoCal.
This is exactly what SoCal wants at the end of the first period. An opportunity to close the score going into halftime is so mentally important for the team.
I love that. It's a mental win for sure.
It is. Vermilion Valkyr out and eligible to score now for SoCal on the power jam.
Lots of fans in the crowd for Kier.
SoCal trying to isolate a player at the back of the pack. No pack is called when they knock out the goat. And a no earned pass gets 3 points for SoCal on the power jam.
I love that SoCal is like, you want to take and dominate the front? Well, we will dominate at the back end and make sure that we hold back at least one player. And I think I like this. I like this part of SoCal. This is when
Yep.
they're using all the limbs of the blockopus. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Out of the pack and absolutely busting through, out of the penalty box, I mean to say. That's Mac Daddy, 4 points.
Yeah, now we're in jam time, so we'll see how this rolls. But don't.
Nice offense by number 008, Ham Wheezy on SoCal. Made that easy for Vermilion Valkyr. 11 points for SoCal on this, Cakes. They are really closing things up.
I do like how SoCal is starting to swarm the pack and neutralize the nuclear defense. It's like a nucleus. They are like in the middle, and
Yeah.
SoCal's just surrounding it.
Both teams dedicating some players to offense, too, even in the midst of all of this defensive lockdown they're trying to do. No pack called once again. They're definitely playing with the pack definition here as well as a strategy. What a grind. So we are going into halftime with a 7 to 15 point jam in our last jam. 95-78 is the score right now, and that is close, and that's what was predicted. So I'm excited for period 2. See what SoCal can do.
I'm so excited to see what the rest of this game has to offer. Nuclear at 95, SoCal at 78. We will tune back into you shortly, probably within about 3 minutes before the second half starts. I've been Cakes, and I've been joined by
Scar Trek. See you soon.
All right, welcome back to Cactus Cup 2026, live from Mobility 360 Sports and Fitness Center in Phoenix, Arizona. This is hosted by Arizona Roller Derby. I am Cakes.
And I'm Scar Trek.
And we are happy to bring you the second half of Nuclear versus SoCal. You have Nuclear Free Roller Derby, NF Bombs, SoCal Derby, the Kraken. We were talking a little bit about some great passes in the last half, mostly about points and how that worked out per jammer, like the main lead jammers. And what did you see there on that side there, Scar?
For Nuclear Free Roller Derby, your top scorer right now, Smash and Dash with 37 points in period 1, followed closely behind, 35 points for Joe Means Joe, and Mac Daddy has picked up 23. So a nice even spread over there on Nuclear Free Roller Derby.
Yeah, and I also want to let you know a little bit more about SoCal. They had for Slamurai 8 points total. Split, you had 20 points total, huge. Rogue had 10, and Valkyr had 30 total points. And Valkyr is not a jammer. This is all done by pivot tree.
The stats would disagree, Cakes.
The pivot tree of the jam era.
SoCal doing a great job with star passes in period 1. It's really responsible for a lot of their points.
Oh, so good. And we were talking a little bit about penalties before. We have a very good job overall from both squads. 17 total for Nuclear, 14 total for SoCal, which is a flip. So we do see a momentum shift on the penalty count there. And only one skater in a little bit of trouble, sitting at 5. That is Jax from SoCal. So you know what? Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Or just, hold on to the next game.
Yeah, looking at what's been called so far, I'm seeing a lot of forearms, I'm seeing a lot of track cuts, out of play calls, but really kind of dominant with the X's on the penalty board. A lot of cuts have been called this morning, so maybe the rope is teeny tiny or something, I don't know. But we're underway, jam number 1 of period 2. That's Joe Means Joe taking the star for Nuclear Free Roller Derby, and Rogue Rammer for SoCal.
The pack is in the first straightaway, still trying to figure out who's going to dominate that front wall. Going around the bend, Rogue Runner does a really good job there recycling behind that pack. Stays inbound and picks up that lead jammer position for SoCal.
Nuclear Free Roller Derby inching backwards.
Ooh, Rogue Rammer unable to do that apex hop. Sriracha shuts it down. Ooh, nice swivel there. Thank you so much, Hamweezy, for that hip whip.
Nope.
Nuclear. I like when they pull up their hands like that. I did not do it. I did not do
I'm
it.
innocent. Everything's slowed down.
Joe Means Joe trying to hit the back wall there. Slamurai taking a tumble from that hit. We're getting a penalty here called direction and gameplay. So unfortunately, Joe Means Joe, no means no. Heading back to that Lookout Publications penalty box.
Exactly. So a little pack advantage to SoCal, lining up for jam number 2 of period 2. And this is an even closer game because that was a 4-point pickup for SoCal. 95-82 right now, Cakes. Love to see it.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, you saw, if you missed the first half, there was a kind of some juxtaposition there back and forth, but then Nuclear just went off and they took that dominant front wall the whole ride. So now we're seeing here a little bit of a switch up. SoCal having Halloween on that jam line against Mac Daddy. So we're going to track cut penalty on hopefully not a jammer one. I see it coming somewhere. Oh yes,
seems
it's
like
just
a blocker.
blocker.
Yeah, SoCal loses a blocker to the penalty box.
30 seconds to think about her choices. Pack has not at all left the jam line, that Night Owl jam line, so I guess that's where all the cool owls are hanging out this game.
They're having some pizza.
It's the pizza. 4 points on the board now for Mac Daddy. Halloween stashing the star a little bit longer. Pack starts to trickle towards the pivot line. Mac Daddy, everybody's grounded, shuts off that jam, puts up 4 for Nuclear.
So
0
an
points.
8-0 pickup. Yeah, nice jam for the team from Alberta. They're wearing blue this morning. SoCal in white jerseys if you're just joining us. This is day number 1, game number 1 of Cactus Cup 2026. Thanks for being here.
And you're number 1.
You're number one.
No, you. Actually, all of our amazing people in our chat are number one, too. Thank you so much for joining us. And Shady Hawkins makes a mention, big ups to the stream production and video team. I love Arizona's stream production. They are just always so amazing. If you have not been to a Cactus Cup, you are missing out. You absolutely have to put it on your bingo card or your passport for Derby. Okay, so now back to Jam 3. Little kitty split on the jam line from SoCal. Smash and dash for Nuclear. Smash and dash does pick up that lead jammer position.
With a pirouette, even.
With a pirouette.
Points for style.
What points would you give? 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. The pack now enters the second straightaway. Smash and dash trying to call it before a sneaky moment there by number 77. Little kitty split.
Talking about points on the outside line. Kind of hit the back wall pretty hard there. And it looks like 1 point.
Just one.
Just one. Going up for Nuclear Free Roller Derby. 104 to 82 the score right now. 26 minutes left to play as we line up for jam number 4.
Thank you so much for the shout out there, Chai and Shady, letting everybody know that we're the THAs for some of the post-season tournaments. We are so excited and privileged to be here, so thank you for doing that. We now have Jam 4 underway. Joe Means Joe back on track. Picks up the lead jammer position. The pack now starts to settle into turn number 1 as Joe Means Joe starting to get towards that back end of the pack. Huge hit.
Yeah, we got some gymnastics happening this morning.
Oh my gosh, who was that? I believe it was Dink the Tank.
Holly Ween fighting through on the initial trip, getting stared down by Joe Means Joe at the top of the pack.
Excuse me, it's Toast and Jam too. Toast and Jam, one to watch for Nuclear. What a quick and fast hit it and quit it moment for Jam 4. 4 points on the board for Nuclear. SoCal sitting at 82, Nuclear at 108, and we have 25 minutes remaining in this contest.
It's looking tactical here in period 2. Seems like both teams talked about some things at halftime, trying out some specific jam start strategies and other things too. SoCal wants to close this gap, of course. This is two very closely ranked teams, so a big loss here could mean a rankings implication for them.
Yeah, and you were mentioning earlier how the predictor was showcasing it might be a 4-point game, and we're seeing, a little bit momentum shift now for SoCal as we head into jam number 5, Little Kitty split against Saracha, and right now we have lead jammer position for Lil Kitty split.
And there is a cut call on on Nuclear's jammer, so power jam now for SoCal.
Saracha trying to do a little bit cha-cha with the Lil Kitty split. The cat is not deterred. The red dot is back on track. Lil Kitty split finding some more room on that inside lane. Nice offensive maneuver by Wheezy, opening up some room for Lil Kitty split.
Really good blocking out there by Bad Kitty from Alberta. Just magnetized to that jammer. Having to bridge out now, 1 to beat at the top. Lil Kitty split, picking up 4 points.
I like the defensive work here even on this side for Nuclear. Nuclear does a great job with the penalty kill. The jam comes to a close to shut out Nuclear in that jam. 4 points total for SoCal. Brings their score just up a little bit, 86 to 108.
Yeah, and we've got an empty Lookout Publications penalty box, so it's 5 out 5 out there.
Would you just look out?
Just look out. Look out for who's in there. No one at the moment. It's looking crowded on the track. And a pivot line. Oh no, here they go back to the jammer line. Love to see a pivot line start sometimes.
Just for nostalgia. As you said, both packs at full advantage. Halloween on that jam line for SoCal. Mac Daddy for Nuclear. Front wall now being challenged by Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy is home trying to come through that front door. Oh, and squeaking on the inside lane. Halloween picks up the lead. Jammer.
Having a good period 2 so far. Halloween's been putting up points for SoCal.
And again, you see Nuclear here taking that front wall. That's their favorite time, space, good time, place.
Nice offense in the pack, but Halloween picking up a penalty. It looks like illegal contact, so power jam now for Alberta.
Unfortunate, but nonetheless, Nuclear chugging through here. Mac Daddy picks up 4 big points. The pack settles down in between turns 2 and 3. Front wall now taking place by SoCal. Oh, right on the outside lanes, 3 and 4 wide open. We have Nuclear picking up 4 points. Mac Daddy laying the smackdown on points. What are you seeing there, Scar?
I was just looking at how many penalties Halloween had picked up so far. Only 2 in the game, so 2 power jams given up there. And, okay, I thought I saw skating out of bounds there. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, Nuclear Free Roller Derby's jammer has headed to the penalty box. I think it was probably a skating out of bounds penalty. And
nice work. I'm so sorry.
The power jam has reversed.
It's reversed. You get a chance. Halloween trying to challenge that front pack with the nuclear bombs just going off in the inside lane. Bam. Showcasing some work there. Complimentary along with 713 known as Renee. Oh, one to watch. I love
Seriously.
that work there.
Yeah, super fast defensive player, just able to be wherever the jammer is. But the power jam wraps up now. Both jammers in and engaging with the defense. Rennie playing some offense now. As that one times out. Wow, so physical. So it's 8-4 on the jam in favor of Nuclear Free Roller Derby. 116-90 with 21 minutes left to go.
I do like that SoCal is still keeping it very close in point differential. The penalties are starting to trickle in just a little bit. It seems like Nuclear is starting to pick up a little bit more on that side. And everybody else in the chat is just having a blast. Hello, Skid. Hi, my loves. Did I miss anything juicy? Well, the most juicy thing here, the controversy of the floor. No, I'm just making something up. Actually, what's happening right now, you're seeing Little Kitty Split pick up that lead jammer position for SoCal. Smash and Dash, the jammer of record for Nuclear. I think, is this the first time we've seen Smash and Dash in a minute? I'm just guesstimating.
Picked up some points earlier in this period, I think, as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely their third jammer in rotation.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, Smash and Dash are so fast, it's just a blur at this point.
Exactly.
3 points picked up on the board for SoCal. Cuts off that jam very quickly because Smash and Dash likes the dash, keeps that seasoning.
Oh,
you know.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. Keeps it fresh. And I do like that Johnny Pepper says in the chat, flip-flop jammer swap, give a dog a bone. Oh, that's hilarious. Love that.
Johnny Pepper. I was watching Clover Cup last weekend, and Johnny Pepper said something so funny. He said, all 80 wheels a-blazing. And I loved it so much, it lives in my head. We're underway.
Rent-free.
Rent-free, Johnny Pepper.
Jam 8 sees Halloween from SoCal jamming against Joe Means Joe from Nuclear. Joe Means Joe picks up that lead jammer position. Star Stash from Halloween. Nice check there, courtesy of Killer Ella. Ella. It just keeps going. I can see it.
Yep.
Jam comes to a close. Joe Means Joe says no means no, and we shut down that jam. Shuts out SoCal. 4 points for that jam. Nuclear sitting at 120, SoCal 93.
Let me tell you a little bit more about our penalty box sponsor this week, Lookout Publications. In roller derby, nobody gets away with a dirty hit, and in journalism, nobody should either. So Lookout is Arizona's LGBTQ plus newsroom, fearless, independent, and proud sponsors of the Cactus Cup's penalty box. Find them at lookoutnews.org.
Okay, it's like you just used the announcer curse for good because you talked about penalties and the officials did a timeout to just think about all the choices. So that stops the clock
like
at 19 minutes and 24 seconds. It looks like they're looking for something.
Track inspection going on.
I would be blind. My retinas would be burning because it's so shiny. Like the reflection would just hurt me.
Someone asked about juicy details from the first half.
Oh, yes.
And I noticed on the penalty view the jam view that we have, there was an official review in the first half that was retained.
I love that
That's
stat.
juicy, right?
That is juicy because that doesn't happen often. So stat-wise, that's a good one to notate.
Credit to the coach on that one. Oh, we got a login situation here.
We'll just push other buttons and look away.
But right now the score 120-93. 19 and a half minutes left to go in this game. Again, we're seeing the number 4 seed take on the number 5 seed in this tournament. This tournament features both a seeded bracket of 8 teams and I think it's a 4-team round robin.
It is.
So you're going to see both types of games, but we are in the elimination bracket this morning as we get started, and the winner of this game is going to go on to play the winner of the next game. So that is Arizona All-Stars versus Cherry City. That's the number 1 seed versus the number 8 seed. So the biggest split in rankings and strength factor. Likely to see Arizona come out on top, but you do never know. So the winner of this team likely to face off against Arizona later on in this seeded tournament bracket. And of course, just to tell you a little bit, more about what's coming up today, we're going to get into the 2 p.m. game, Juarez taking on Treasure Valley. And at 4 p.m., Wasatch versus Arizona's B team, Arizona Rising. 6 p.m., we're going to see Sacramento take on Angel City's B team, the Rocket Queens. And at 8 p.m. tonight, Baja taking on Team Montana. Exciting.
Oh. So at Cactus Cup, I see these teams come back almost every year, and I really love Baja coming back. Just one to watch. Make sure you pick up their merch if you can, because they have such cool merch, and it helps them get back and forth between us here. And so help their travel funds. And then also just overall, such a fun schedule today. So Scar, just let you know all your plans for Friday. Congratulations.
You live here now with us.
We have a couple things, and that's all the juicy things. That's it. That's all we had.
Is there anything else juicy? I don't think so. I mean, it's just been tactical roller derby out there.
Tactical.
Yeah.
Very much so. This official timeout now pushing past the 3-minute mark. I think they're allowing people to get to the stream. Let everybody know that you're here. What you looking at there, Scar?
Well, we do have an event sponsor I want to let you know about, because Derby Girl Designs began the same way most great skate stories do, on skates. Lifelong roller skater who always has believed that skating is more than a sport. It's community, identity, freedom, and a place where people of all ages and backgrounds can feel at home. So visit derbygirldesigns.com. You can save 15% with the coupon code Cactus Cup. Again, that website is derbygirldesigns.com, and you'll save 15% with the code Cactus Cup.
All right, so we're headed back to the track. Jam number 9 sees Halloween come out first and picks up lead jammer position. Mac Daddy not too far behind her, though the pack settles down in turn number 1. The front wall juxtaposition going back forth. Huge apex hop and lands it smoothly.
So lovely. So spooky.
So spooky. It's a spooky jump, you know. Jumping the webs.
Delightful. Delightful jam by SoCal there. Halloween with a 4-point pickup, closing the gap. 23 points between the two teams, and little under 19 minutes left to go.
I love to see it, Scar. I just love it.
You love it?
I love that.
Oh my God.
I like it a lot. Let us know who you're giving shout outs to. I just want to see shout outs for the next jam. I do see that there's Ralphie in the chats. Big hug SoCal, sorry. Reading is hard. Track maintenance team shout out from Johnny Pepper. And we spy a Toxic Narcotic and Cali from Chai. Let's go NFRD from Fish. Jam 10 underway. Roguerammer for SoCal. Smash and Dash for Nuclear. Lead jammer is declared, and it's Smash and Dash, but Roguerammer challenging that and shuts down that jam via pressure.
That's the second time I've seen that happen, where the jammer who gets lead jammer doesn't end up in the lead. So we get a double goose egg. Jam holding steady at 120 for Nuclear, 97 for SoCal. 18 minutes left to go now.
I love it. Murder Maid says, wow, Holly. Wow. Wow. Yes, Tornado Dash from Skidette. Shout out to the Bombs. Panic says, love you, besties. Oh. And then Chai's here for Trash Can Jones. Trash Can Jones is the best, says Ralphie, and that is so true.
Ooh, muscling through. Halloween has some power at this jam start.
Yeah, pack advantage now for Nuclear, as one is in the box for SoCal. That is number 02, Trash Can Jones. The favorite forearm penalty is being called on the jammer for Nuclear. That's Joe Means Joe. So Joe's going to sit that out for a good 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Nice penalty kill. Who was that? I believe it was number 12. I can't see my old lady eyes.
Halloween danced around the outside line on the toe stops there for points on the power jam. Coming back in. Nuclear Free Roller Derby's defense a little spread out here, having to bridge. Halloween just dancing through.
Do you see Sriracha doing all the Macarenas or like the cha-chas? Like, I just love that.
I hear it in my head.
I see it. Seen it with my own eyes. Power Jam still now coming to a close. Outside, barely staying in bounds challenge. I heard the tape. Yeah, we heard it up here. And Halloween's just going to close it out. Yeah. That's enough pumpkin spice for today.
It looks like right as the jammer was released, kind of, right?
Yes.
So
Joe Means Joe putting the pressure on SoCal, but SoCal coming away with a, let's wait for it, 13-point jam.
11.
11-point jam.
Maybe 2 of those already were seen and one.
I see. Yes, did the wiggly.
The thumb. The thumb had to be,
So 11-point jam for SoCal. Nice job there overall.
Yeah. Wow. Big pickup for them, closing the gap even more.
18 points. Nuclear sees Mac Daddy on the jam line. Programmer for SoCal. Programmer almost finding that inside lane, squeezing on by, but unfortunately denied by Killer Ella. Loud noises are on the track. Eventually see who leaves. And it's going to be a pack advantage now for Nuclear. Mac Daddy is forced to the recycle. What do you see there, Scar?
Have not made it past the pivot line yet in this jam. 1 to beat at the top, though. Out of play. So lead jammer going to Nuclear free roller derby.
Nice defense work there by Shoddy, doing all the damage up at that front wall for SoCal. Nuclear just really picking back up on that defensive line that we saw earlier in the first half. And Mac Daddy's going to call off the jam after a beautiful hit by Trash Can Jones.
So a 3-point pickup for Alberta, 3-0 on the jam. 123 to 108 is the score right now, and we're entering the final quarter of this game, Cakes.
No, say it's not so.
SoCal kind of running out of time to get ahead on the scoreboard. I mean, it's not such an insurmountable lead that Nuclear free roller derby has, but they have been very dominant in lead jammer statuses. So SoCal's got to make a move here, and not just close the gap, but exceed the differential.
And they also have to play it a little bit safe here because now sitting at 6 penalties is one of the favorites, Jax from SoCal. So something to watch out for. We have Smash and Dash on that jam line for the jam line, I should say, for Nuclear against Lil Kitty Split of SoCal. Just 1 more to beat. Excellent jam blocking work there by 7-13. Rennie.
Yeah. Big pack advantage right now for Nuclear free roller derby with 2 in the box for SoCal. So we're going to call that off and maintain that pack advantage into the next jam. This is how you get lead jammer over and over and over again, by paying attention to who's in the box. So good eyes there by Nuclear free roller derby, preserving that advantage as we line up for jam number 14.
Terrorizer says, let's go Mac. And way to go Ween, says Papa Ween. Aw, Papa.
Papa Ween.
Papa Ween.
Holly Ween's having a great game today, scoring tons of points.
All of the points. Joe Mean Joe on that Night Owl jam line against Rogue Rammer. Lead picked up by Joe Means Joe. The pack still in the straightaway. Nuclear doing a great job continuing that dominant wall at the front. Beautiful work here by the defense of Nuclear. And I believe, again, that's Killer Ella just really striving there for like MV blocker, I gotta say. Pack starts to pick up street as it enters the second straightaway. Joe Means Joe on a scoring run, already puts up 4. A star pass on SoCal side. Jack's now the gemmer for SoCal. It's a back block call, so this will be a power jam situation in now favor for SoCal. And I believe you saw a star pass. Is that right, Scar?
That's right. Yeah, Jax with the star sitting on 6 penalties right now, so a bit of a dangerous situation for SoCal, but no big deal. Just picking up 4 points on the power jam.
I love the expression for Samurai. Did you just call me in a penalty? That is just redonkulous. So pack advantage for Nuclear. As Samurai takes a little seat. Right now on a scoring run, we see Jax trying to penetrate this defensive Triforce here. It's just a great job overall.
Yeah.
Again, Nuclear penalty kill.
Sriracha really just making life hard in that tripod. And Jax really needs to be careful here. Has to reset there behind one of Nuclear free roller derby defenders.
One of the impressive things by Nuclear is that even if a jammer does get a penalty, they still pick up a plethora of points in that jam. Right now, Joe Means Joe even already have had a 30-second timeout in that Lookout Publications penalty box, picking up 12 points so far with the penalty. That's unreal.
Yeah, and I think Jax is probably sitting on some points here, but not able to complete the pass. Only 3 points picked up by SoCal for a total of 7 on the jam. That was a power jam. Nuclear outscoring them with 12 points. 13 points.
Nuclear is dangerous.
Danger.
Because they're bombs. Oh my goodness, 6 penalties for Jax. But you know what? We have a little bit of a news on that. On the nuclear side, we have Joe Means Joe sitting at 5 penalties.
Okay, really important jammer for the Alberta squad. So we'll keep an eye on that. 11 minutes left to go in the game, 136 to 115.
I got to give a shout out to Chai in the chat making note of less than $10 and it's like 17 Derby games. You should subscribe because I guess they had an ad at the moment of all this craziness in jam number 14. So jam 15 sees Mac Daddy pick up the lead jammer position. Halloween stuck in that pack. Now a possible star pass situation. Not sure. Probably just a star stash. That further corner is seeing a lot of action. Oh. I believe Joe Mean Joe called off the jam or Mac Daddy.
I wonder why.
¿Por qué?
But why though?
But why? We just want more derbies, please.
They have their reasons, Cakes. So it was a 1-point pickup for Nuclear Free Roller Derby. SoCal's jammer still stuck in the pack on that one, but the jam got called. 10.5 minutes left to go in period 2. Nuclear Free Roller Derby maybe just wants to bleed that clock a little bit.
Maybe just so. Jam 16 underway. Little kitty split for SoCal. Smash and dash for Nuclear. Both teams at full strength. SoCal again in that back wall, scrambling. Nuclear doing a great job dominating the front wall. Huge check, courtesy of our pivot, number 22.
SoCal picks up lead. Little kitty split in control of this one.
You cannot trap kittens or cats. It's just not unreal.
They will rush out of the door as soon as you open it.
You cannot contain the cat. Look at that effort there by number 22, Sriracha.
That's that slick floor.
That's that slick
coming
floor.
into play.
Too much Sriracha sauce all over the pack. And we have another power jam situation in favor of SoCal. Smash and Dash headed to the penalty box. This will be Smash and Dash's, I believe, second, surprisingly. So great job on that.
Pretty big pile up there in the straightaway.
Yeah, again, you're seeing Nuclear do a great job. The NF Bombs controlling that front wall, dominating with their defense.
SoCal seems to be going for a skater on skater kind of offensive strategy. A little bit of a tumble there on the inside line. 8 points was the pickup on the power jam, and we've got Nuclear's jammer iced in the penalty box, lining up for jam number 17. We'll have a power start for SoCal's Kraken.
You thought there was a heat warning? Well, don't worry about it. Ice has been, it's been iced out in that penalty box. So stay chill, everybody. We're going to see some good stuff. Jam 17 will showcase Rogue Rammer for SoCal against Smash and Dash, sitting in that penalty box from Nuclear. Rammer, Rogue, trying to do all the things. On the outside lane, does a nice swivel. Great job. Smash and Dash, though, out of that penalty box, trying to beat one more at that front wall. Can SoCal hold back that jammer? They do just enough. Breaks that jammer plane, picks up that lead jammer position. Interesting choice for lead there, but you know what?
Yeah.
Great job on the pressure there by Rogue, making sure that they are well known for that pressure.
Yeah, SoCal's jammer just raced out of the top of the pack, but quickly jammer call off from the floor by Nuclear Free Roller Derby. So your score right now, that was a 0-0 jam, 137 to 123. We got a close game here, Cakes. Under 8 minutes left to go.
7 minutes and 43 seconds remaining into this contest, and my heart is pacing. I cannot. Tell us how you're feeling there, chat.
Nice
we have smooth operator here. We have Halloween as your lead jammer. Coming around the bend. Oh, no, I believe this is going to be, yes, a call on Slamurai. For a second, I thought it was Jackson. I was really scared and worried. Coming around the bend, Joe Means Joe puts the pressure on Halloween. Halloween on a scoring run, but so is Joe Means Joe. Oh, and picks up a track cut penalty. So this is a power jam in favor of Nuclear, and one you don't want to have all the power to is Joe Means Joe. Joe will be coming around that track on another scoring run, already having 4 on the board.
Yeah, that was a track cut that was pretty expertly pulled by one of the Nuclear Free Roller Derby defenders. I didn't see which one it was, but just moved back right in time, pulled that cut on Halloween, created a power jam now for Alberta.
Wow, a forearm call here on Shoddy. Shoddy, what you doing? Pack settles down into turn 2, front wall by SoCal. SoCal doing a great job. Slamurai rotating between Evada, doing a great job here slowing down Joe Means Joe. Joe Means Joe doing a great job just slowing down overall. Huge check to Slamurai. We're going to get a forearm call, and the Power Jam switches back to SoCal and Halloween on one, as they say from Chaos in the chat. What are you feeling there, Scar?
Halloween with the quickness up at the top of the pack, dancing around the defenders. Wow, so much agility. Nuclear Free Roller Derby just magnetic to the jammer, it seems like, on defense, but Halloween's pretty hard to catch.
Nice offensive maneuver here by SoCal, trying to push that pack forward. Loud noises, so Jam will go to the distance, and we are going to get a penalty to somebody else. Shoddy, what you doing, girl?
SoCal losing that blocker to the penalty box on a track cut, as Joe Mean Joe gets recycled all the way to the back of the pack by number 7, Slamurai. Nice defense there by SoCal. And that was an 11 to 8 point jam in favor of Nuclear Free Roller Derby. 148 to 131 right now, 5.5 minutes left to go.
That stops the clock at exactly 5 minutes and 37 seconds to give everybody a moment to just give me a second to say a shout out to AZRD. Arizona Roller Derby is a nonprofit organization, and they were originally founded in 2003. So if you do the math, that's a very long time, 23 years in the sport. It's the second oldest flat track league in the entire world. And AZRD welcomes all genders, sexual orientations, races, and religions. And much of our success is unequivocal outcome of the support of our volunteers, sponsors, and fans just like you. So thank you so much for all of you in the chat, giving shout outs as well as subscribing. And then everybody in the crowd, thank you for being here on a nice, bright, early Friday morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Derby. So right now, teams sitting at 27 penalties for Nuclear Free Roller Derby, 29 penalties for SoCal right now.
So they did another flop. They switched back and forth.
They flippity-flopped.
Flippity-flip-flip-flop.
We got 2 players in some trouble. They've turned orange. Not in real life. Just on the penalty board.
We're in America. We don't really like that color anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't.
Joe Means Joe with 6 penalties for Alberta, and Jax, number 43 for SoCal, still sitting on those 6 penalties.
So yeah, for the total penalties, you were talking about 27 to Nuclear, and then SoCal had 29.
Right.
So still very close there, but overall everybody's kind of past, 1 or 2 penalties. It's not anybody's in real danger except Jax as well as Joe Means Joe, as you mentioned.
And I think, again, we're not taking super specific stats on this game, but my perception anyway has been that there have been a lot of power jams, and they have been relatively evenly given up, it seems like, over the course of this game. Points may not have been even on them, but
right,
the number of power jams given up has seemed to go kind of back and forth, even in the same jam.
Even in the same jam.
So, yep, someone turned red.
That would be Joe Means Joe, and that will get Joe Means Joe a little escort and hand-holding to the locker room.
Yeah, so I think that was an upgraded forearm as opposed to a 7th penalty.
I believe that's correct.
All right, so yeah, that's an
Either
ejection.
way, it was a 7th penalty total.
It's an expulsion.
An expulsion.
So there will be paperwork.
Oh, not the dreaded paperworks.
We love paperwork. And an important player, important scoring player for...
Huge player for the Nuclear, not only defensively. I've never seen a jammer switch so well back and forth, not just picking up points, but also doing defensive work in the fray. Mm-hmm. Joe Means Joe is a pivotal player for Nuclear. Chaos says, no, not the paperwork. You know what? Also, as announcers, we get the choice of since we're watching, some MVP nominations per game. So in the chat, if you could let us know who you think, we just want to hear your thoughts before we make those choices, because there's so many great players that we can choose from. Jam 19 underway. Mac Daddy picks up that lead jammer position. Little Kitty Split still stuck in that pack. Front wall again being dominated by Nuclear. Mac Daddy already on a scoring run. Little Kitty Split trapped.
Mac Daddy barely slowed down coming through the pack there. 4 points going up for Alberta, as Little Kitty Split still stuck on that defensive wall. Pack really spread out.
The pack can't stop the Mac. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Challenging all the arms and walls is Mac Daddy.
Busting through.
8 points total already. Mac is going to call off the jam before a Little Kitty Split could come in. Illegal contact is going to be handed to Lil Kid Split. Too much string on the track. She got distracted. So this will be a power start for Nuclear.
Got the zoomies. All right, 8 points to pick up for Nuclear Free Roller Derby on that last jam, holding SoCal to a goose egg on that one. 156 to 131 right now. 4.5 minutes left to go, and we've got a power start set up for jam number 20.
I'll let you take this one.
Smash and dash with the star on this one. Trying to make it past number 7. Slamurai does do it, and lead jammer status going to Nuclear Free Roller Derby on the power start.
Pack starts to pick up speed in the second straightaway. SoCal doing a great job trying to slow down the momentum here of Smash and Dash.
Nuclear does a kind of passive pack definition strategy on power jams, I'm noticing. No pack often called on their power jams.
Okay, I have to give it up to Cakes, and this is not favoritism, I promise, but Cakes, having all the cakes, doing a great job.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I am a fan.
Doing good work out there, and the Cakes love is, I can feel it developing.
Thank you.
Over the course of this game.
It's a slow build in this morning, you know.
Your cake from another bake.
Cake from another bake. 159 to 131 in favor of Nuclear. It's 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining.
And stay tuned. Up next, we've got the Arizona All-Stars taking on Cherry City. That's your number 1 versus your number 8 seed in the bracket.
Jam 21 underway. Programmer for SoCal against Sriracha for Nuclear. Programmer having to come around the bend behind the Night Owl jam line. Nice work here from your pivot for Nuclear. Oh, just a tippy toe on the inside lane, almost pirouetting past the defense. Just has to get past Twitch. Nobody gets past Twitch, not even the paywall, so you make sure you subscribe. Oh, some momentum here by SoCal, trying to keep Sriracha back in bounds. Does a great job there by Slamurai and Ham Wheezy.
Ooh, long run back by SoCal. Making Sriracha, for
not enough spice. Slight pack advantage for Nuclear. Sriracha puts up the lead jammer position. Signification. Direction of gameplay called on number 838. That's Twitch. 4 points on the board now for Sriracha. That was a minute 20.
Wow.
Before either jammer could get out and get some points on the board. A successful star pass on the SoCal side to Slamurai. Oh, would you just look at that, Sriracha. Getting spicy with it. Does a check to Slamurai on the outfield. Slamurai is just not having it, using the art of the Slamurai.
Yeah.
Being very
waiting it out.
Chill on the outside.
Minute and a half left on our period clock right now. And a takeout on the outside line by Alberta's pivot. Long run back once again. We've seen a lot of run backs in this jam, just bleeding that clock out.
Yeah, that clock, the 6th player on the track. Nuclear's bench goes wild.
Pretty happy with that result. It was a 2-point pickup on the scoreboard. That was a lot of work for 2 points.
You know what? And I think they're very excited because that's Sriracha's first time jamming jam. Starting off on that Night Owl jam line from start to finish. No pivot pass, nothing.
Gotcha.
So good job, Sriracha.
Under a minute left to go here, Cakes. We've got a 30-point spread between these two teams.
Jam 22 underway. Mac Daddy on that Night Owl jam line against Halloween of SoCal. Both teams at full strength, and Mac Daddy picking up lead jammer position. Pack starts to trickle in behind turn 1. Halloween is forced to recycle. This defensive wall against Halloween, I think they have Halloween on their calendar. They know all her trickery.
The decorations start coming out earlier and earlier.
And Nuclear is not phased. And because they picked up the lead jammer position, they're content with shutting down that jam and not allowing any more jam time to go through because the Period clock has expired.
Dr. B, quick with that team timeout, stops the period clock at 3 seconds. SoCal wants another jam.
Sharpshooter. It's one more jam. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just realized
Don't apologize.
It's a no-no in our announcer handbook. I just got carried away by this amazing work here by Nuclear and SoCal. The Kraken versus the NF Bombs. How is everybody feeling out there, crowd, inside and out and in my heart? Let me know how you're feeling. Dino Dance from Unique Monic. Love it. Both benches now standing there, Scar. They are excited to see this.
You got to do it for the last jam.
It's the last jam.
4 seconds left to go on the period clock. So I think we'll see a quick call off if Nuclear gets lead. Maybe they'll go for all the points they can. See? That's the next whistle starts the jam. Here we go. Final jam of the game.
Gangsho Sally says, so proud of our Canadians. So happy that you're down here with us. Thank you so much for making that travel. I know it's not ideal, but we're very, very, very happy and appreciative that you're here. Jam 23 says, shows row grammar for SoCal on that Night Owl jam line against Smash and Dash of Nuclear. Smash and Dash picks up the lead jammer position. Pack doing all the damage at the pivot line. A star pass is successful on SoCal. Nuclear is not going to allow it. Not today. So we're going to shut that down. It will bring our unofficial score 133 with one sneaky point picked up by Nuclear in that last jam to 167. Wow, what a game that was, Scar Trek.
Yeah, SoCal really muscled their way back into it, coming back from a big deficit in the first half to close the score near halftime, and then, man, jammer penalties really a big part of the second period.
Huge factor. That whistle means it's the official score. It's final 167 to 133. Still very hard fought. I like that the differential was a little bit bigger than we anticipated, but we do have some wonderful MVPs that we want to give a shout out to. You have earned a beautiful sticker.
I'll go down there so I can give them to people. Okay. And then, yeah, you can announce them.
Okay, great. We've got some MVPs coming up pretty soon. Bonita's headed down to the track with your
beautiful
lovely
sticker
prize.
Yeah, it's like a little badge of honor. So it's very amazing. So how many stickers can you put on your helmet here? Give it up for Nuclear Free Roller Derby, the NF Bombs.
Yeah, your number 4 seed moving on in this bracket to play the winner of our very next game. Slapping some hands down there.
Slapping sweaty hand time. Great job from everybody. Thank you so much for our chat. Everybody's getting a good game shout out, courtesy of Fish, Bootstrap, Prizone Fan, 9000X, Ralphie, Boomer, Fatal Fantasy. Thank you for being here. Overreaction. I love that name. Give it up for SoCal Derby, the Kraken.
Yeah, coming out from Southern California, San Diego. Your number 5 seed headed into the consolation bracket.